fascinated about this conversation we're going to have, because perhaps this Father's Day is, it's carrying a little bit more significance for first time or new dads. We have neuroscientist Greer Kirshenbaum here with more on this next stage. I'm trying to think back to like being a new dad for the first time, and first Father's Day, that's like a big achievement. But those early years, and that's what you specialize in. I was just saying, how cool a job is that, neuroscientist? But how did you get into that?
Wow, I was on the way to medical school in my undergrad, and I got really fascinated in neuroscience, and so I did my undergraduate in neuroscience, and I was just like very, very interested, and kept going.
It's such a broad, because there's so much going on in our minds. So you specify specifically in the early years of child development?
Yeah, anytime I could specialize in learning, I would always focus it back on those early years, because it's incredible what's built from 0 to 3. There's 1 million connections per second formed in a baby's brain in between 0 and 3 years.
Oh my goodness.
It's wild.
Okay, so obviously they're always learning. Where else are we learning in our lives?
So there's 3 massive periods of brain development. The first is 0 to 3. The second is the teenage years, about 9 to 14.
Okay.
And then the third time is when we become parents.
Oh, because it's all new, right? Okay, interesting. And is that what goes? So you have this book, The Nurture Revolution, that came out last year, and it tells is it for parents?
Yes.
It's a guide for parents to help them through those first years?
Absolutely. It's a guide for parents to understand the incredible brain changes that are happening in their baby and in themselves, and how we can use nurture to grow mental health in babies and in parents in these critical years.
Okay, so give us some examples.
Yeah. I think the biggest way to get the message across is to really say babies and parents both really need to be in a really safe, loving, responsive relationship with each other. Lots of communication, lots of touch, and lots of responsiveness in those early years. When parents and babies interact like that, it releases oxytocin and beautiful neurotransmitters in both parents and babies, and those neurotransmitters will then shape their emotional brain parts towards positive mental health outcomes.
Yeah, because you look at, I don't know, you look at your little baby, boy or girl, and they're looking back at you with these eyes, and you're just like, what are you thinking?
Yes.
What are they thinking?
Yeah.
Do we know what they're thinking? Everybody's thinking something else, but they're thinking a lot, I would assume.
Absolutely, they're learning so much, those 1 million connections per second. And a lot of what they're thinking is how much they love you. They are drawn to your face, your smell, the sound of your heart, your touch. They're always looking for those sensory experiences with you and to be in relationship with you.
Yeah, and then there's always like those first words, those first moments that you look for, and those benchmarks, especially as a first parent.
Yes.
Do we have to be concerned about those benchmarks?
I always tell parents, be the most concerned with the relationship. That babies need that above all else. And when you're in that relationship, a lot of those other parts of enrichment happen. The motor, the sensory, the language. You're kind of giving babies almost everything they need.
What about for dads? Because we don't have the same connection to moms, because moms carried them.
Yep.
Right? There's always a connection. We only got a minute. But what about dads? What do we do as dads?
Yes. So dads can also do a lot of physical bonding with a baby, and moms need a break. So I would say 2 parts. 1, we want dad having lots of skin to skin with his baby, maybe taking baths with the baby, doing things that connect them and help give mom a break. But also for dads to remember for 0 to 3 that when they nurture mom and take care of her, feed her really well, get her enough water, give her breaks, take care of the stuff around the house, they're really taking care of her and the baby significantly. Yeah.
What about singing? If you're a really bad singer, still sing away?
Still sing away. And talk about what you're going through as a dad too. That's important. It's
communicating, no matter what. But just always be talking, because that will continue through the teenage years.
Absolutely.
Because that's a whole different time. Maybe we'll have you back for that.
Yes.
All right. Good stuff. We can get the book wherever you get to.
Yep. Books available everywhere.
Awesome.
Yep,
good stuff. Great meeting you. Greer Kirshenbaum, The Nurture Revolution. Happy Father's Day. You can find this on our website too. Morning Live. CUCH.com/morninglive.